Hello, I am Brandon, the humble host of Actual Play Broadcast. This will serve as an introduction to our broadcast for the time being. As we record and publish more, it shall change. We are still getting things set up, so apologies for any errors, skips, or silence that may occur. Everything will be smoothed out in due time. Please enjoy our broadcasts of various RPGs, and remember to tune in for more every week, as continuations or new adventures will be posted at such times. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
And we're recording.
Yes. All right. Well,
Hello.
welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
I'm Zemian. We're running Shadowrun again. It's been, well, for the recording people, it probably hasn't been terribly long, but for us, it's been maybe about a month or so. We went on pause in Daggerheart, something like that. But we back. We're at the moment short some people. Liana will not be joining us. Well, Liana, fucking
Wrong.
Carmine will be joining us.
It's true.
Syndra, Carmine's player, will not be joining us tonight. We also have two who are out in the ether. Maybe they'll show up part of the way through the session. But we can't wait all night for them to show up, so we're pressing along and hoping that they make an appearance. So no Larry or Blur for the time being. But we have enough people. This job is not that difficult, I don't think. So should be fine.
Fast forward
With
one
these
hour and everything's on fire and we're screaming.
1 hour, y'all are fucking like
We gotta fight everything.
what fucking Orochi's van is like flipped over in the middle of the highway. You guys are surrounded by HTR. Everybody's covered in blood. Like
Someone's trying to start. Someone's bleeding in the back seat.
so something went very wrong.
I'm all out of empanadas.
Anyways, let's since it's been a while, let's go ahead and do the recap. Somebody. Brandon, being voluntold, as usual.
No, they usually recap. So it is January 5th, 2081. We have been tasked with abducting a human woman, Dahlia Murphy, to deliver from West End to Windham, to someone named Tub. And we have 1 week at midnight to do so. Delivered alive, we get full pay. Delivered dead, half pay. Obviously not delivered, no pay. Pay decrease on civilian deaths by 10%. Total pay for the group is $8,000, which is not bad. Target is in North Deerling with a sizable home. But we found out that she actively speaks out against marginalized groups and doesn't believe in civil rights or anything like that, from what we could tell. She comes from old money. She has ties to Human Nation, which is just all you need to know is future racists. And a little extra, realistically.
Yeah.
However, they don't even fully like her. They have gone on record to mention that she's a bear fucker. What that means, we don't know.
She is allegedly part of Human Nation, and you all know that there is like some chafe from the local Humanist chapter. It's important to know Humanist and Human Nation are not one and the same thing. They have a lot of overlap. There is a Venn diagram that's not quite a circle there. Humanist is like the street level hood wearing racists. Human Nation is the rich aristocrat human first people who are operating out of sight effectively for the most part.
And now their hoods are neon lined.
Yeah. The current date is the 9th. It's been a few days since you all started your investigation.
Yep.
Did some... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so we found out that she's not relatively liked in the local sphere as much as she probably wants to be, since she's running for, I believe it was mayor.
Yes, she is planning to. The election hasn't come up yet, but she is intending to run for mayor.
Somehow chased off her competition. We don't know how well that went, but overall, family very well off. She despite her pre-established proclivities, likes to frequent a sex club. Let's call it what it is, a sex club, and
Yes.
partake in flavors that aren't just human. She then fucks off and goes and does the rest of her day organizing racist rallies. We have made a plan is to spoof her assistant's credentials and try to blackmail her about her activities, and then use that as an opportunity to snatch her up.
That sounds about it.
Like, we scouted her out and learned a bunch of things, but like, you can go listen to the prior episode if you haven't.
Ah, shit. I should probably have recorded her going to that place.
And
Maybe. You also, like I said earlier, it is technically the 9th. From what I remember of your plan, you were going to wait until the 11th, which is the day before the drop-off, maybe the night of the 11th, or maybe you were going to wait for the day of the 12th. Not sure, but I know you were going to try to like run down the clock a bit and grab her last minute so you didn't have to hold her for long.
yeah.
We left off on Thursday night. So you have Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday to nab her and deliver her. I mean, obviously, you do have the rest of Thursday night. Like, my notes have it left off. It was 22:30, so a little bit before midnight-ish. So you do have those early hours, unless you want to sleep. I know you all have been busy throughout the day, so you probably do want to sleep. But you'll have effectively 3 days, and on the night of that third day, she needs to be delivered at midnight. At the moment, I will say that you probably have messages from the others that some stuff has come up. So they may not be able to immediately give aid. So at the moment, as far as you all know, it is up to you guys to finish this job.
Okay.
I believe
Interesting.
the primary thing we had them doing was coming up with plan B if we needed it, which involved high yield explosives.
Yeah, and maybe that is part of it. Who knows? You haven't been given details.
Oh. I could
But
probably make tranquilizers.
I'm assuming you all are gonna sleep unless you have other plans.
Yeah, real quick, Ali, could you pull your microphone closer to your face? You sound like far away.
Problem is, it's already there, except for being in my mouth.
I think your mic is just dying. Maybe this has been like a consistent thing. Some people have had issues with now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn my headset off and turn it back on and see if it helps.
Okay.
Okay.
It was just like I was just losing them. It's just like,
yeah. Like, for the most part, I hear him fine, but you know, obviously, I'm not the only one that needs to hear him. So
I could definitely try to turn up some things on my, like, I had him at 200% and he was quiet, and I'm like, that's not normal.
yeah.
Brain microphone.
Yep.
Hello.
Hi.
Yep.
Sounding
Okay.
better.
Yes.
Oh, okay. There we go.
All right. So in that case, we're gonna move to the morning of the 10th, so Friday, and we'll say it'll start at 9:00, not quite at dawn, moving into the day proper.
Okay.
I'm assuming you all are used to, not necessarily working 9 to 5, so you don't necessarily have to like get up for work and stuff, but you are technically working. So I imagine you might want to get up at a reasonable time, but you also don't have to be up at like 7 or 8 to get ready for work and commute and do all that wage slave bullshit.
Uday does, but he also wants to make sure he gets to the right spot and gets good coverage.
Sure.
Actually, you know what? Where does Fude want to be for the day? Good question.
Uday will be reached out by St. Cloud. You said you have a mobile base operations, not like full on base, but like something you could be stationed out of, right?
He's got his food truck.
Well, Fude, I do need to spoof her assistant's ID, and there are two ways we can go about it. We can either try to snag it while he comes up to get some grub, or we could try to sneak into the building and, well, we don't have to sneak in, but it'd be easier if I could physically connect to his device.
Either way works. Do you want me to go cater to the location or nearby?
Okay. So you were asking about getting Foodie to get his truck out in front of their office or like near it.
Yeah, that way I
sell food
nearby the office. Probably. I don't want to be out in front.
Yeah, that's pretty difficult. Traffic is because I'm assuming. Well, which place has Foodie been staying out of? I can't remember offhand. Has he been staying out of East Deering?
Rosemont area.
Okay, cool. So it won't take as long. It'll probably take you, because in the sixth world, everything is awful, especially traffic. So it'll probably take you a good 30 minutes to get over there. As I recall, her office is in, I think it was in Bayside, I said?
I actually don't remember where that is, because I remember she took a very long way to get to that club.
Oh yeah, for sure. I know the club.
She specifically drove around a.
Oh yeah, yeah. I know she specifically drove through East Deering, and then down into East Bayside to get to Parkside. I must have decided where the office was on the fly because it's not in my notes. So in that case, I'll say it is in Bayside. It makes kind of sense for there to be an office in Bayside. So yeah,
buildings and all that stuff. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it'll take you a little bit to get over there.
Kind of convenient because I was already planning to be in Bayside.
By the time you would get over there would be probably about 9:30ish. Because you said you were going to get up a little bit earlier. You're probably early enough to still get a little bit of a breakfast crowd. You don't. Well, we'll wait and see. Let's establish what other people are doing first before we start advancing through the day to hopefully see your secondary target. So you've sent a message to Foodie St. Cloud. He's on his way to do that. You are wanting to spoof this guy's identity.
Yep.
You all don't particularly know each other too well. You're not sure what his technical capability is. Are you wanting to go down there and meet with him to be on standby to grab the information? Or what's the plan?
Yes, that is the plan.
Okay, so similarly, it's going to take you a little bit because traffic. Well, it's not going to take you as long because you're in Parkside. It's easier for you to get over to base.
I am. I have a nice place.
Yes. So you can be a little bit leisurely about getting over there. For Blur and Larry, you all are staying in the same place. You both know you're on this job together, though clearly y'all don't really communicate to each other that much. What are the two of you doing? There was mention that you might be working on a B plan, potentially something involving explosives, it sounded like. What's the plan? To catch you up to speed, we are on the 10th. The delivery of the target is due the 12th at midnight.
Yeah. Well, the making explosives is going to be more Larry's thing.
Yeah.
I will probably see about scouting out possibly where the best place to like make them meet the Snatcher is. I'm sure there are plenty of places that we can do it, but I will spend my time at least solidifying my familiarity with where we may decide is the best place for our.
So, let me ask you this then. In Blur's mind, what are those key details that would define a good place for that? What are the things Blur is going to look for to scout out a potential location?
Somewhat isolated, terrible police response time.
Okay.
Alternatively, somewhere people would rather keep to themselves if they see some shit going down rather than call the police. So we're probably gonna look for like a lower scale, like neighborhood part of the Portland.
Okay. So here's what I'll tell you now. You know, you haven't been in the area a lot. However, you know, while you do not live on the peninsula yourself, from what you've been told from St. Cloud, she works on the peninsula, and her home is in North Deering, which is AA security level, which is about as good as security gets for an area. It's not a match to corporate ratings, if that's confusing at all. It's pretty much AA, A, B, C, D, E.
Yeah.
There are not, from what you know of the city, there are not necessarily long response times in areas in between point A and B there. If you want somewhere where the police are not going to immediately respond, you need to move her. You need to, because the plan is to lure her.
Yeah.
So ideally, you're probably going to want to go down to either Cape Elizabeth, South Portland. You could maybe pull off. They have a B security rating. There, you do know there is. The Ivory Lions are out there. They have some sway over the police out there, but that feels like a coin toss to you. And with your connection to the Ivory Lions, if they were to find out you did some shit that could potentially bring police heat in, well, who's to say what could happen?
Yeah. It'd be better to not piss off the local cartels we all owe money to.
Yeah. Cape Elizabeth would realistically be the closest. Alternatively, you could get her to do some of the work for you and lure her into Wyndham. Wyndham, you know the police are not going to respond. You doubt, you're not even sure, you don't know the area that well, you haven't really been out there, but you're not sure if police would necessarily even be called out there. Because it's part of the greater Portland area, but from what you hear on the news and stuff, it's a really bad part of town. It is a enter at your own risk. The kind of place where if you look at somebody funny, you'll probably be shot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and just as a
Cumberland could be an
reminder-
option as well, but it is further out there.
Yeah. Just as a reminder, where's the drop-off point that we got to bring her to?
It is in Wyndham, but it's like in North Wyndham. It's real deep in Wyndham.
Probably actually getting her onto like the south area of Wyndham is probably going to be the best bet then. Because at that point, we just need to keep her out for a little while and not piss off any gang that's currently deciding that that's their area.
Okay. So how do you want to scout this out? Are you planning to drive out there and physically scope out a place, or are you going to like try to do it on the Matrix? How do you want to do this?
Blur is going to go there physically.
I will come back to you with some of that.
She will be casing the area.
Okay. Larry, what do you want to be doing?
So, out of the air quotes plan that has been communicated, how much has been shared with everybody? Because that's going to kind of dictate what I want to do.
All the details have been shared.
Yeah.
They have been regularly updating like the team's effectively group chat.
Yep.
With like, this is her routine. We think luring her to a place with these details and then jumping her and then holding on to her until the appointed hour. Yeah, all the details are available.
Damn, like... Okay, so it doesn't leave much for the boom kind of plan. But don't see where that would fit in.
Well, I think we had decided on boom was if everything went to shit, we can essentially ambush her.
Just like hold her hostage with it?
Well, I mean, essentially take her on the street. Because if I recall, like, if she just decides that, no, I won't be blackmailed, do whatever you want with it, we still got to get her. So, like, blowing part of the road out or taking out her car while she's on the street was going to be our best bet.
Okay.
If I recall.
Yes, like you would have the explosive knowledge to know that you could reasonably shape a charge that you could, as a plan B, get a charge that's shaped, or you could put it on the road, or you could disable a vehicle without necessarily turning it into a fireball.
Yeah.
Alternatively, since like I'm gonna be nice and offer suggestions since this is the first run and everything. Alternatively, you all know where her car is parked generally. That's not hard information to have.
Yeah.
You could get an explosive made and then get access to her car and plant it. Not necessarily making a total car bomb to once again fireball her, but you could get something that you could remote activate that could cut off a key part of the car.
Yeah, something that'll just blow her axle apart.
Yeah, because I don't...
That was my thought.
A body?
No, none of us want a body.
A body, so...
You can turn in a body.
Only like a
It's
half.
just, you're going to take a... Yeah.
That was not the optimal situation.
Yeah, that's plan E.
If even. Okay. So in that case, I think I will get to work on the, like, just disable a car explosive. You know what, let's start with that. Let's start with the, just enough to, like, cut the engine or stop it, not enough to make a fireball.
Okay. Are you wanting to take out a part of the engine? Or are you just like aiming for an axle? What are you looking for?
whatever is the quickest and, in a way, quietest way to get a car to stop moving.
So whatever would require the least amount of explosive.
Yeah, because the drawback with explosives is it makes noise.
Yes.
So just out of character, thought is if she thinks she hit something on the road and it tore her axle, that might sound like an explosion to her, and she won't think more of it.
Or like something backfired.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal. Something that sounds, air quotes, natural.
Yeah, it would have to. That might be
Or if
relying on a little bit of
wow,
coincidence.
that car really started wrong.
Can I throw something in here? I have a thought.
Yes.
So my thought would be something that we could put in like on the road to like something small and sharp that would deliver a low yield explosive to her tire after it got punctured.
That is a good idea.
You want to
doable.
tire spike her her car with some extra steps. I mean, that wouldn't be terrible. That can seem a lot more coincidental.
Yeah.
Once again, being nice, because this is the first run, you need to consider the fact she takes highly trafficked roads.
Yeah, so there will be other people on it.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
There was one section where she took a that was a little less populated, or rather a little less secure.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly.
Yes, she drives. Well, it's not that she takes a less secure route or anything. She specifically avoids the back cove, which has a notable troll presence.
Yeah.
So when she leaves and goes to work, she goes through Bayside, East Bayside, into East Deering, and then into North Deering, which is longer than if she just went North Deering, Back Cove, Oakdale, Bayside.
Yeah. Alternatively, and if we're really gunning for the scene can be explained away, we could stage like a quasi hit and run. Somebody hits her car. We detonate the small explosive at the same time that we have attached to her. It looks like it does more damage than it actually, or does more damage than it maybe seems to. And whoever is there, the other accident person drives away.
My only criticism for that is she is so deliberate and so careful. I feel like anyone who is that paranoid would be immediately suspicious.
Also, do you have a burner car? Because I don't.
That too.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Listen, I have like...
You have 3 days.
Yeah.
You can get one.
We can jack a
we
car.
can steal a car.
Well, I don't know about stealing a car. That might be a little challenging. I mean, you could. I'm not going to tell you no, but...
Doesn't have to be a good car.
I mean, a stolen car doesn't get traced back to us.
Something that can be done probably is either rent a car that leaves one of our sins exposed. We could try and jury rig a car that is currently not doing too hot in like a junkyard or something.
We could.
Or your friendly rigger has spike strips.
Do you just have spike strips on you?
I have a spike strip launcher on my car.
Just bear in mind, spike strips are going to be high profile, and we're going to have somebody in a car to launch those spike strips because she goes on well-traveled roads.
Yeah. Like they said, they have a launcher for the spike strips on their vehicle.
Doesn't that have to be launched from like a vehicle or something?
No, you don't have to launch them. I mean, you can manually set them up, but the launcher is a launcher. So.
Yeah, but if we manually set them up, any car that goes over them is going to trigger them, and she's on, again, well-traveled roads.
Yeah. I mean, it's just barbed wire on the road.
I will say this: you do not need a high rating or high amount of explosive material to get a tire to pop.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just say we plant something on like the inside of her tire well and it pops the tire. Like you can use a small amount of explosive on it. It can be explained away as the tire being defective.
Yeah.
At least in the short term. I think we're overthinking this with like tire spikes and shit.
That's why that's what I was going to say, is just go back to basics.
Just have it next to her brake. It looks like her brakes were faulty and like fuck the tire thing, and it tore itself apart.
I mean, people leave nails on the street, so
Yeah.
Okay, they do, or they blue laser blades sticking up on the street.
In that case, I'm going to leave it to you to know what you have to roll and stuff. Just go ahead, do what you have to do to make the thing, and then let me know how that turns out.
do I roll anything? Or...
Well, it's demolition skill. I know you have materials to make the thing.
And you have the table.
Yeah. It's a tire that you're trying to pop. You don't need super high rating.
What do I roll?
We'll figure it out.
Okay. If you need to double check the charts and stuff, especially for demolitions, it is run and gun.
That's why I wasn't seeing it. I'm in the wrong fucking book.
Yes, very basic, very, very basic pre-made explosives are in the core book. You want to make your own shit, you need to go and run a gun. So that said, Orochi.
Yes.
All that is going on. What do you want to be doing?
Well, she is probably going to take her truck to see and communicate which one of our groups would like to have just her nearby or support if need be. Because currently, or she could actually. Should she take a trip to the junkyard and just survey the car and see if we can, if
Yeah, you
we
could.
need one?
Your closest junkyard, you're probably looking South Portland. It's probably your best bet for the closest junkyard.
Cool.
And whether or not they'll let you look around, that is a maybe. If not there, maybe keep Cape Elizabeth or maybe out in Westbrook.
Yeah.
You have
Some
options.
abandoned, or see if there's some abandoned car somewhere.
Yeah, like hypothetically, if you're not really that super picky, you could brave West End and see if you could find something abandoned. But you do know West End has ghouls and such in it.
What did it say?
You do know that West End has ghouls and such in it. So, if you want to risk looking for something abandoned in West End, you can, but it's a bad area.
She is actually probably gonna try and get. She's gonna start somewhere more safe, and if she doesn't find anything suitable or has trouble just surveying it in other areas, she might go to West End.
Okay.
She at least has some drones that can have a little early warning system.
Well, driving out to South Portland, nothing too hard. You're right down the road from the bridge that goes across, so you can get into South Portland just fine. It's just a matter of finding a junkyard, which you're a rigger. I'm assuming you're somewhat appraised of at least some places nearby.
It's relevant.
So I'll say So I'll say it's probably in one of the more south areas of South Portland, pretty deep into the area because the immediate area is a lot of like businesses as well as some industrial places and such, as well as a lot of like residents and such. So it's probably going to take you like 30, 45 minutes to get out there. But you do find there's a junkyard. It's got, a rusted old sign. The place has probably been there for, well, probably back in the fifth world, quite frankly. And, it's got a somewhat functioning, automated fence that is on wheels. Well, the gate is on wheels. And there is like a booth. It doesn't look like anybody's in the booth when you pull up, but you can see like the piles and piles of junk beyond the fence. There's also like warning signs like, we shoot trespassers, beware the dog, guard dog on watch. We're not responsible for you hurting yourself. All those types of warnings.
Yep.
You even see one and it's like there's drone security, but you look around and it's like, doubt.
It doesn't look like there's any like security at all here, right? Yeah.
Not on first impression. You pull up, you don't see anybody. Like I said, there's the booth. The gate is closed. It doesn't look like anybody's in the booth, but you do see and next to it is one of those pedestals with a keypad and a speaker box and such, and a call button, and a security scanner for like a badge or something.
Let's see. She is going to. It's like a keycard scanner.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's see here. Looking through my list of stuff.
Well, while you're figuring that out, let's hop to somebody else. For Foodie, you pull up. Do you want to pull up right in front of that office, or do you want to be like a little bit down the street? Like,
I kind of just want to be a little bit further down the street, not exactly in front of the office, but not too far that if Brandon needs or if St. Cloud needs to meet up with me. Thank you. St. Cloud needs to meet up with me. He doesn't have to walk too far.
okay, yeah.
So, trying to target the other office buildings in the area too. So decent.
Yeah. So you get parked. You start doing your usual setup stuff. You got to get like the generator going and make sure everything looks at least somewhat presentable, especially in this part of town. It's a nicer part of town.
Phones. Make sure they're not too.
Part of the way through this process is about the time St. Cloud would show up, because he is notably closer to the location than you were.
Yep. I do not remember. What is Foodie race-wise?
You're not entirely sure. Fude is currently wearing his regular day clothing, which is kind of a very more of an earthy tone with some browns and some beige, and he's got a bit of like the some nice oranges and green kind of like striping through it, and he's wearing a full face helmet. Probably the only thing that's exposed, and you can see his hands and a bit of his wrist area for when he does his cooking.
You like don't look like obviously like a dwarf, elf, or orc.
I'm probably as tall as an elf. Probably about the same height as a human.
Well, that's fine. It's just more of, are the racists going to be racist?
I'm pan-skinned, so there's a different kind of race going on here.
Well, I think they'll be fine with that. They're not.
Answer your question. No, he's not particularly identifiable.
That's all. That's all. St. Cloud was looking for. Is just like, does he have ears that stick out? Has he tusks? None of that. Okay.
He is clear. Yeah, as far as you can tell, he's clearly not a troll, orc, or dwarf, which makes him, for the most part, passable. Elves in Shadowrun are not like universally like rail thin. The most stick out thing of them is they tend to be overall just more attractive and have pointy ears. And most have a hard time growing facial hair. But aside from that, elves and humans are pretty similar in appearance.
It should all be fine.
Actually, yeah, as soon as you're there while food is setting up, you actually already hear some of the cumbia music that he normally has going when he's working at the food truck.
See, you're getting set up.
Hey, yeah. Had a few breakfast people getting in, just getting the rest of this ready for lunchtime. Anything else you need for me to work with? Do you need me to do a special performance, maybe?
No, just like, here's the description that we got of the kid. That's the mark.
Okay.
If he comes by, make as much small talk with him as possible. That way I got time to get access.
Okay. Well, I might be able to do something of that nature for you.
So that's an important question is, where are you going to hang out while you wait for this guy to come?
I heard someone on mute.
No, it's just me.
Oh.
Okay.
I'd given some consideration to that. My goal was to, like, if Foodie doesn't mind, me, like, sitting in the truck. And, like, being out of the way.
If you're gonna sit in the truck, I'm gonna have to ask you to help me set up.
I don't know the first thing about food, so
No, don't worry. You're just gonna help finish setting up like the little coned off areas and a couple small stands for people to kind of finish putting their food together before they walk out.
Okay, that's. I mean, I can do that. That's not.
Yeah, like I got plenty of space for you to hang out on the front of the truck without being totally visible. But you're gonna hang out. I'm gonna ask you to help.
All right, that's fine.
So that's going on.
Yep.
Real quick, hop over. Since you unmuted, I see you're remuted, but did you all get that figured out, Damiani?
Yeah. Machi just made the roll.
Okay. Another thing, like, because this is a very simple explosive, I forgot to mention this earlier. In the future, and this goes for everybody, when you're making a test and you know it's something that's going to be really easy, something you can do is you can take your dice pool, and for every 4 dice you have, you can buy 1 success. Now, you cannot, do this as a half measure and be like, well, I'm going to use 4 dice, buy 1 success, and then roll the rest. You can't do that. If you're buying successes, you have to break your pool down.
Okay.
If you do not get a neat pile of 4, that does not get you a partial or anything like that. So for every 4 dice you have, you can get 1 success.
Or you can choose to roll it and let Jesus take the wheel.
Yeah. I specifically bring this up with demolitions, especially with the simple ones. If you know you have enough dice to just buy the successes, don't risk exploding yourself. Just in the future. I was confident it wasn't going to be a problem, but I was thinking about that after I said that. So in the future, that goes for everybody. If it's simple enough, you can just buy successes and pass.
Yeah, okay.
But okay, so that's made. Cool. Did you figure out how much time that takes you to make that?
I mean, if it's really simple, the rule says for 30 minutes.
Okay, that's the important part because it's an extended test. So every time you roll on an extended test, that's how much time passes for every test you make. So if it takes 2 tests, it would be an hour.
Yeah.
But you did it in 30 minutes. Cool. That helps me keep track of what's going on. So we'll jump back over to Rochi. You are at this junkyard at the gate. What do you want to do?
Yeah, let's see here. She is going to first just drive around a little and see if there's any place that is a little obscure, not really looked at from like the gate office or whatever alleyway.
Oh yeah, out here these are older roads. They've got potholes here and there. You drive around. It's not exactly great. This isn't a super dense part of the city. But you find there is a side road that kind of gets you close to being like at the back of the lot. You would have to like park your car and get out and like trek through a little bit of like, underbrush and such. But you're pretty confident you can see the fence of the junkyard through the scenery.
All right. Well, she's gonna. Yeah, she's gonna park there and just see if there's any like weakness in the fence or whatever. You can sneak in.
Yeah, it's an old fence. However, give me a stealth check.
Sure.
Because who knows? There could be something watching. Could be watching us even right now.
Dog, high on acid.
Oh God!
How did you do
dog
the
doing?
It's actually Hellhound.
command?
Oh God.
What was the question, Fisk?
How did you do the command for the dice roller?
You type in SR12.
Yeah, SR. Then your dice
and
pool.
your dice pool. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Luckily, it's in the pin.
Verbatim.
And if you
karma, if you karma.
Oh, you mean if you edge?
Yeah.
IE 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
It again, it's all in the pin.
Yeah.
Little pin, but it checks out.
Yeah. I'd imagine if it was
SR12 IE6, then.
Yeah. Okay. You typo.
Typo.
So yeah, you'll. No, you just do IE6 flat.
Oh.
So add your whatever you're adding to your dice pool. So it's SR dice pool number total IE space IE6.
And you're trying to add your edge to your 6, right?
Yeah.
So then it would just be SR20. The bot is very simple. It doesn't do math for you very much.
SR20 IE6.
Yeah.
Oh, that 12 is the pool.
It's the dice pool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Here we go. No, dice made up, please.
He just sends it again. It hangs up sometimes.
We're professionals.
Yeah, truly.
The universe is fun. That's true.
Oh, y'all come here often?
Apparently.
Dice Maiden doesn't, apparently.
It would be rude over chat to do that kind of thing, so I don't.
Like that, you're banned. It's amazing.
What, for not being inappropriate? Wow.
Okay.
Damn, bro.
Oh, at least one success.
Okay. Is that it, or?
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
It's
Oh,
fine.
you didn't do the sixes explode.
No, because it didn't do it. But I can roll one extra d6.
Yeah. I mean, you might get a second success, so worth trying.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So you make your way through the underbrush, push through, and you find that this underbrush goes all the way up to the fence. It's kind of grown through parts of the chain link. But it is definitely an old fence. You imagine cutting a hole and it wouldn't be too hard, assuming you have proper tools. You can see some piles of junk, like you do see some rusted out bits of cars that are decades old under some piles. Old discarded refrigerators, freezers, microwaves, and all kinds of just scrap metal and such.
Is there any like barbed wire on top of the fence?
There is.
Time to take out a bolt cutter.
Oh boy. Okay. Cool. So you start cutting your way through the fence. And you get a sizable hole. Do you want to like completely cut a hole out, or are you doing the flap?
Flap.
Okay. So you cut enough to squeeze your way through and get inside. The place kind of stinks. Just doesn't smell good. It's safe to assume that there is water pooled in places, and it has just got this
Old oil, etc.
Yeah. It's also, I guess I should have added as part of the scene description. It's early January in Maine. It's cold. It's a little bit below freezing.
Okay.
And it's damp out because it has been snowing and such. Ground is still somewhat covered in snow. But you're inside. What do you want to do?
She looks around. Is there like a camera or anything on the building?
Well, you haven't seen the building yet. The piles of junk are heaped a little too high to see a building. You're just in the junkyard itself. That said, you have not seen any cameras that are obvious as of yet.
She's gonna examine the stuff closest to her first and see if there's anything that she can salvage.
Sure. Go ahead and make that perception then. And I'm also going to ask what. We'll make the roll first.
Yeah.
Okay. So one success. What exactly are you quantifying as something that's usable? Like, what are you looking for?
She is looking for a car that is in bad shape, but one that can be like jury rigged to work at least for a little while.
Well, here in the back of the lot, the pile that you're currently examining, all of these cars are pretty fucked up. Some of the bodies you imagine are salvageable, but they would definitely need a lot of work to like be something nice. They would like really stick out as a piece of shit on the road. That
Doesn't
said,
need to.
all of
Sticking out
them,
is fine.
all of them do look like they have been like torn through already to some degree. Like of the bodies that look like they could be usable, like you can tell radios have been pulled out, their tires have been taken, pretty much any electronic components have been removed, and you can see at least one where it doesn't have a hood, no engine.
People have crimed here already.
Either people have crimed here or
That's a pick and pull.
these have already gone through chop shops or who knows what, but it seems like at least in this pile, this is a pile of husks, essentially.
Fair.
Just bodies.
So no little nugget over here that's salvageable.
Yeah, that said, this is a corner of the junkyard. You could delve a little deeper, see if you could find something maybe more recent, but that's what you found so far.
Well, she would try to go a little deeper. Let's see.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another check.
Perception?
Yeah. Okay. So one success again. You're looking. I guess my question for you is how risky do you want to be?
Not very.
Okay.
It's
So
not worth
you
that. For that.
You move and you are kind of trying to catch glimpses of these other piles without exposing yourself too much. The junkyard is quite large now that you're actually in it. You think you might see a good indication that most of the stuff here in the back has like been here for years. So there might be good chances of something more suited to your desires near the front of the lot based off of what you're seeing, but you don't see anything immediately useful to you. However, you do hear what sounds like the shake of a chain somewhere nearby-ish. You're not clear exactly where, but somewhere in the junkyard you hear a rattle of a chain.
Like a chain for like a dog?
Maybe. You're not sure. It sounds like something akin to a chain, metal shaking on metal.
She has very bad experiences with wild animals, or animals in general. So she is going to make her way back. She has creature speak.
Very fair. So you go ahead and head out and start, I assume, making your way out of South Portland, going back to the peninsula. Okay. So while that's happening, we're going to jump over to Blur. who was heading out to go scout out Wyndham. It's a lot easier, you noticed, driving towards Wyndham than towards the peninsula.
Fair.
Traffic's not as bad. Granted, traffic in Nason's Corner and Westbrook, not the best, even going out towards Wyndham. But once you get past the density of like Cumberland Mills and Frenchtown and Westbrook, traffic severely drops off.
Yeah,
And it's
like people don't want to come here or something.
Yeah, and you cross over into Wyndham, and the difference, it's not quite night and day, but it's pretty soon that you can see why people do not come out here. There are vast stretches of areas that are completely submerged in water.
Oh boy.
You can see where there was bits of road that had once crossed over rivers and such that are now submerged partially. And it looks like you can still drive through, but you do have to slow down to pass through these spots. And as you go deeper, you do see, in general, the area is flooded. Immediately over the border into Wyndham, you do notice there's not a lot in the way of population. There are a few streets, some ran down houses. Ran down. Houses that are in bad shape, but you can see cars and driveways and such. You don't really see people out and about. As you drive, you do approach what is South Wyndham, and there's a little bit of activity, but you think you do see some side streets that could potentially serve your purposes.
Oh, that's
Or
good
wait.
news.
I just remembered, Blair doesn't have a car.
No. Blur has to borrow rides and ride shares, and there's a very confused Shadowrun Uber wondering why she wants to go to the fucking ghetto.
Okay, so you're paying somebody to take you out here.
I figure that is the better part of spending the entire fucking day walking.
Yeah, it's gonna take you more than a day to walk out there, more than likely.
Yeah. Well, I'm very fast.
That's yeah, you're not making that sprint. That's yeah. You're not an Olympian. I'm sorry. You need to be more than Olympian to do that. And we're not playing vampire.
No.
So let's see. Do you have any negotiation?
That's real funny. No.
I didn't think so. Cool. So it's really hard to get somebody to drive you into Wyndham. However, you do find somebody who's like willing to do it for like 200 million. It's like, make it worth my time and gas.
Yeah, fair.
And safety charges. And if anything goes down, you're going to owe me more.
Yeah.
So we'll say that's what happens.
She'll eat that cost, yeah.
And you find, out on the outskirts of South Wyndham, you do find there are some kind of smaller buildings. They look like they might have been storefronts once upon a time that have fallen into disrepair and they don't look inhabited anymore. There's some parking lots in front of them that could be kind of isolated, as well as like some back streets and such that you could take advantage of. And in this area, what water has collected in the roads and stuff is partially frozen. And the roads, they have a layer of snow on them. nobody has come out here and plowed. Occasionally, you do see tire tracks in the snow from people driving, but this place is not a good part of town.
Yeah.
Where for worse?
You can keep looking or not. It's up to you.
It is a pain in the ass to get out here. I'm going to make it worth my while. I'll keep looking around. Essentially, I'm just anywhere that seems secluded enough that we aren't going to be sitting there out in the open with our clandestine deal.
Okay, so you want to keep looking?
Yeah.
So you could you go past South Windham heading towards Newhall. It's not looking like, once again, there are like some side streets and stuff that look like they might be able to do the trick. But you do see there's kind of more people out here in Newhall. So you keep going. When you kind of approach this larger river going north, this area is far more flooded out. There are some apartment buildings and such. Some of them look abandoned. You do see, like, clearly homeless people making use of the place.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you've got some fires and stuff going on that people have gathered around, but for the most part, the area is kind of like broken up into almost like islands of abandonment where the water has kind of separated places apart from one another. Okay. You can pass over to these places. The waters are not too deep, but they are deep enough where you have to slow to a crawl. And you know it's cold out there. So that's probably why people don't take advantage of these little islands, is these buildings are in bad shape. They can't keep the cold out, and to physically walk through the water is a very bad idea.
It would suck ass, yeah.
Well, considering their situation, you would assume there is a high likelihood they would die of hypothermia if they did it.
Yeah. All right. Considering what I've seen so far, I guess I will try to use the best of my knowledge to decide on like what's a good spot to have this deal and like take pictures of the area.
Is there something you would like to roll for that? Or to decide on what area you'd prefer to use or anything like that?
God, fucking something with intuition and not logic.
Depending on what you have, bud.
Let me take a look.
I mean, you don't have to roll something if you don't want to. But it's like if you wanted to roll to like get what your character would potentially know to see, that would depend on what knowledge skills you have.
The only thing I would have that's relevant is perception.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you think probably either on the edge of South Windham or one of these isolated spots near this really flooded out area could be good, potentially. Just looking around, you know, in the time that you've been up here, you've not seen a single knight errant cruiser.
Yeah.
What people you have seen have kept to themselves. They have definitely eyed the car, but nobody has like made a move on it.
Oh, that's good, at least for our purposes. So yeah, let's stick to South Windham, and then maybe we can use one of these buildings as shelter if we have too much time between doing the thing and having to get her to North Wyndham.
Okay.
Blur will take some pictures and send them on the group chat with the caption possible contact point. Lots of question marks.
So you all are kind of, well, you're probably sitting in the truck at this point, St. Cloud, by the time you get this message.
Yeah.
Because it's getting out to Windham, it's probably been a couple hours at this point. There's been early lunch traffic for the truck has began. So Foodie is behind you doing his job while you're sitting there in the cab, I'm presuming.
Yep. Wait for the mark.
But you get those messages coming in.
I mean, looks good to me. Trust your judgment on that. Not really my area of expertise.
Me neither.
Okay.
Thumbs up
Orochi.
emoji.
Yes.
What are you doing when you get back onto the peninsula?
She is going to just send a message and say, like, asking how it's going for people, and generally, like, cruising around right now and seeing if she can spot any. Actually, she might go to and just cruise around a little in the ghouly area of town and see if there is any abandoned car.
Oh boy. Okay.
Well, she's gonna cruise.
Yeah. West End is not blocked off like St. John Valley is.
Mm-hmm.
You can enter West End. However, you do notice when you are entering West End, there are some knight errant patrol cars that kind of cruise the outskirts here and there, but they don't linger for long. When you pass into West End, you do see a lot of the buildings, apartments, various businesses and such have been utterly abandoned in various states of disrepair. There are kind of people out and about on the streets. You know, they, similar to Wyndham, they look homeless. They're predominantly humans, from what you can tell, humans, orcs. The occasional troll, some dwarves. It's really a mixed group of people. They seem to move in sort of clusters. You know, they see a larger vehicle like yours rolling through. There are suspicious eyes being cast towards it. It's not a stretch to think that, you know, money might be a thought crossing some of their minds, or at least something of value.
Mm-hmm. He's definitely not planning on stopping anytime soon right now.
Yeah.
Is there any traffic at all here, or
Not really. This is like, aside from St. John Valley, this is the bad part of the peninsula. It's been abandoned. There are allegedly ghouls in the area, but you also know as a Shadowrunner there is undoubtedly a vast amount of illegal activity going on in this area.
Indeed.
And cruising through, there isn't really traffic. Every once in a while, you see a car that's in rough shape that definitely has what you assume to be like gang signs or something. Because people give those vehicles a wide berth.
Mm-hmm.
As far as things on the street that you see, Let's do a percentile roll. How lucky are you? So you cruise through and you don't really see anything particularly promising. You do occasionally see a car that is was parked somewhere and was parked long enough for people to take its tires and strip it for parts effectively.
Just imagine a
There's
car parking and people descending upon it like locusts.
effectively.
Unsurprisingly.
Yeah. But you do notice when you go more than one street in, the night air presence suddenly just is not visible whatsoever.
Also unsurprising.
Yeah.
She does note down some of the car locations and otherwise just cruises on by.
Cool. Let's check a lucky. Actually, better yet, we have a luck stat in this system.
Yeah.
Why don't you roll me edge?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How edgy are you?
She has an edge of
Yeah.
5.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Cool. You go unharassed as you roll through West End.
Huzzah.
So I'm gonna jump over. Larry, is there anything you want to do to pass the time or whatever now that you've made this explosive?
Yeah, actually, I am going to make a backup one for the road just in case.
Oh, okay, go for it. Are you just making like the same size and everything, or are you? How do you want to make it?
Yeah, same size, just as a backup.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you have enough. I'm assuming the difficulty on it is what, like it's a 1 or 2 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can just buy the successes and bada bing, bada boom. Takes you 30 minutes. Hammer it out. Cool. So that's happening. Those of you at the food truck, you're sitting there. It's around 12:30 when Foodie, you've got like a small line. There's like 3 or 4 people, and then the 5th person in line you vaguely recognize from a picture from the group chat as your target's assistant. He is standing in line, and he has got he's checking something on his comm link as he's sitting there, barely paying attention to what's going on around him. Human guy, pair of glasses, kind of messy hair, but dressed, nice button up, slacks, dress shoes, an actual watch. Like, why does he need a watch? He has a comm link, fucking freak. But he's got a watch.
Fashion statement.
Yeah, sure, but
It's inefficient.
But yeah, so you're sitting there. Eventually, you get through these other orders, and then he steps up. And he's looking at the menu. He's like, "Sorry, first time ordering here." And he checks his comm link again. Right, I'm gonna need, and he goes down a fucking list. He's got like 10 orders.
Jeez.
Okay. Yeah, he's buying, buying for the entire office. Got it.
Yep.
So
I didn't know we were catering today.
Unpaid
I
intern.
start listening to it. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna need to grab some extra ingredients real quick. I'm gonna go grab those real quick. Grab those while you list off the rest of the orders. I can still hear you. Hear you, boss man. Go over and just give a quick tap over to St. Cloud as I grab the ingredients. Oh, as I come back with those extra ingredients to start working on those orders, I want to use magic, sir.
Okay. In what way?
I would like to use a magic ability for my character. Since he's giving me a very big order, feeling kind of like want to do this with a little bit of a show, I'm going to use my enthralling performance magic ability.
Enthralling.
Basically, I'm just going to wow him with my capabilities of taking all those orders and just getting it all done and doing it.
I'm assuming this is like he makes a roll, and if he fails, he's distracted by the performance.
Actually, the power emanates from the adept's performance, mesmerizing observers with the adept's grace or skill as the performance unfolds. I make an appropriate skill, culinary, plus magic rating. The adept's hits serve as a threshold modifier for any perception test the audience might make during the performance.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Make that roll, bud.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say you're just. I'm gonna give him the old
Spoiler alert: he does not have good odds of resisting this. So make your roll.
Give him the old razzle dazzle here. You know what? Let's see where that goes. Oh, I got 7 on it.
Fucking okay. Sure.
Gave him the old razzle dazzle. Gotcha.
Yeah, so you're making an effort. The other people who because there are some people who they don't go rushing back to wherever they were to eat their food. They just kind of hang out, eat there. So they're also sitting there. They're enjoying this little bit of extra show. And he's like, "Oh wow." He clearly is never been to your food truck before. So he's just soaking it in, "Oh yeah, that's cool, wild, dude."
Flipping ingredients as I go along.
Yeah.
It's so wild.
St. Cloud, your guy is here. What do you want to do?
All right. So, as I'm unfamiliar with decking in this game, I'm trying to get myself familiar. If I don't even have to get 3 marks on this in order to just copy his information and essentially use it as a spoof. Or will I need to will I need 3 in order to effectively copy his information onto a secondary
I
hard
would
drive?
say you need 3 because you're trying to utterly duplicate all this information and stuff. So yeah, I would say you need 3, or if you wanted an absolute true unidentifiable difference effectively, you would need physical access to it. But otherwise 3.
I need to double check that I have this on my gear. Do I? Did not. Fuck. Okay. I was going to see if I had the data tap on my hand since my cyber deck is internal. But I don't. Didn't pay for it. So we're going to go for 3.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming you're going to want to hack on the fly.
Yep. Hack on the fly.
Which interface mode are you going to be in?
Let's do Cold Sim.
Cool. +2d6 initiative. And then I'm assuming since you're hacking on the fly, you're going to want to run silent so that the system does not immediately pick up on what you're doing. So you're going to have a -2 to all your actions.
That's fine. I have Code Slinger, Hack on the Fly, so I have a +2 dice pool modifier. So that cancels it out. Increase my limit on that. So I am looking at 14 dice.
Oh. Roll them bones. And we'll see how his puny little comlink does.
I'm going to edge that. Since that's all my fuck ups that I get to re-roll, right?
Yes. When you post edge, you reroll every die that did not succeed.
So 11.
11 dice.
Yep.
Oh
Yep.
boy. Not bad.
The 5 total successes.
Good.
Wait.
Okay.
The
We're
waiting.
fine. Not enough ones.
I had to make sure bad luck didn't trigger.
Oh.
Oh, so that you can even edge. That's
There you go.
fair.
Okay. So 5. Didn't need it.
Okay.
Better safe than
Get a
sorry.
mark.
All right.
Yep.
Back at it again.
Two more times, bud. You also get, obviously, a bunch of perception. You don't see anything immediately concerning.
14 dice. I will try to edge that again.
Oh no.
14 dice. Yeah.
14 dice and 1 success. Wow.
Let me see if I can spend it.
Wow.
All right. It got stuck. Dice Main's taking the piss.
Yep. Dice Maiden is just currently is processing way too hard.
It's deciding if it wants to punish you for the sheer act of being a Brandon.
Yeah, no shit.
You had to put a space between the IE, all right?
Yes.
Yeah, space IE.
Okay. I'm able to spend it.
That
Barely.
was close, bro.
It was.
Mm-hmm. So
For
what
those that
does-
don't know, he has to roll a d6, and if he gets a 1, he cannot spend his edge.
Oh
You got it,
wow.
There you go. 5 again. It can't even succeed.
6.
Ah,
Well,
no,
6
okay.
total, yeah.
It's very funny.
Unless he edge it. No. He's not going to be able to beat that.
Oh
All right.
my god, they're edging each other again.
One more time.
4.
That's not too bad.
Okay.
That I'll take. Why
Oh
does-
my
why-
fucking god.
Math. Someone explain the math. I want someone to. All right.
How the fuck?
Four
Yo,
successes.
1/3
the
by
fuck?
1/3 by 1/3 by 1/3.
All right.
The dice just hate you.
So there's
They really do.
it's gonna be a uptick in background things, but otherwise you're still fine. I mean, if you want to try again. You just gotta do it one more time.
Yep. This Dice Maiden is just having a fit. Fine. Just gotta keep resending. 7.
Oh yeah, fuck. Okay, yeah, you got it.
There we go.
Okay. So yeah, you get full access to the device, and you are able to sit there and effectively like Control C, Control V the entire operating system and all the data on it. And for anybody who's watching this, is like, wow, that's fucking scary. Yes, it is. Welcome to the sixth world where privacy
Be
is
afraid
fake.
of hackers. everyone.
Yeah.
I
and everything's
then
connected.
Slave all your devices to a burnable con link, or else.
double check one more thing because I'm already in
One
here.
more thing.
One more thing.
Okay.
Uh,
I want to rewatch that show. That was
yeah.
good.
And this is also going on at a fraction of the time of what's going on in the real world.
Yeah, this is going on in seconds.
Yeah. So you've got the actual getting the marks was barely any of what you're going to be doing.
I would. Am I able to, like, because I know that like things are a little rocky. I want to see if there's any like detection of my device on his end.
No.
Okay.
To spot somebody running silent, you have to be looking. You cannot passively identify somebody running on silent.
Okay. And what's my baby monitor at? Since I have that going.
It's like at 5.
Okay.
You're fine. You failed one roll.
Yep. Nope. Just one double check. Make sure.
Yep.
He wasn't like directly connected to God or anything.
No.
By the way, your your slate is bricked. Goodbye.
His top link is throwing 4 dice. He does not have God on his side.
Okay.
For those that don't know, God stands for Grid Overwatch Division.
And they are the people who will end your life, like God.
Cool. I'll
Basically, the police of the cyber world.
remove my tags and pull out.
All right, so you have a hefty file on your machine that is the entire copy of his. Now I'm gonna say you'll need to make a software roll because you want to edit this copy so that when you put it on a comm link, that it will be directed to your copy and not his actual comm link.
Yep.
So yeah, give me a software test.
Software is 12 dice. It's my hardware that sucks. I can't remember which one it was. My hardware's okay, but like between the two.
Yeah.
5 successes.
Cool. So yeah, you take the time, you get that handled. Eventually, Foodie, your displays comes to an end. As you finish making the last of those orders. And he tips a little heavily. He tips like 25% for the show and everything. And eventually he takes his food and he goes down the street and crosses over into the office.
Nice.
Yes. I think I'm gonna call for a kind of early-ish break.
Do you need your clown shoes and wig?
No, the dice are already providing those for me.
That's fair.
That is also true.
I was gonna comment that you taking the bad luck trait is very funny with your dice luck.
It is what I do.
Yeah, Brandon, for whatever reason, decides that he's going to do escapism in RPGs by playing him in real life.
By just suffering.
Listen, it will balance itself out on one system, but I do this on.
Eventually.
Sure.
Listen, the powers that be in the universe thought I was too powerful already and decided to nerf me.
You know what? You go with that, bro.
I will. It's what
curse.
it's what keeps me going.
God be with you.
Fucking. Like I'm willing to accept like the results from these rolls. Okay, these are kind of like on the low end of what like we should be expecting. But then the fucking like 3 or whatever on the first firewall check, and then 4 on the second. Fuck off.
The 4 on the second was a 1 in 81 chance, by the way.
You said that God be on his side. No, I don't want God on his side.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know why I like it's a weird tick that if I see like bad luck or like anything like that in a system, it's like I want that. Why? I don't fucking know. It's just like compulsory. Obviously it works for me.
So that's underway. The lunch shift starts kind of winding down a little bit. Those of you at the food truck, what do you want to do as the lunch shift winds down?
I'm gonna give it some time.
Nice.
Hey Foodie, I got some stuff to parse here. It's gonna like we should be good, but
Mm-hmm.
I got some other stuff I gotta look at. You need anything for me? Like, I don't think you want food. You want like a drink? Like, I don't want to just like jump in your car, hang out, do what we gotta do, and then I just jump out and say peace. It seems kind of fucked.
It's part of the job, my man. You're good.
Creative director.
Hey, you're allowed to. You can do a job and have manners. There's nothing wrong with that. All
No,
right.
I know, but we needed to get it done. I was able to let you get it going without getting too much attention. It's part of the job. You
Alright.
got it, boss.
Well, I'm gonna peace on out then. You got yourself a for the rest of your day. I hope that these cats gave you some money.
Hey, also before you head out, here's some empanadas.
The fuck even is an empanada?
It's like
Good.
it's a dough pastry with meat inside of it.
So it's not just sludge in a tube, right? That's weird.
Unless you want me to make you a soy, I can do that right now.
Oh wait, this is real meat?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. We'll take that and he'll walk off.
All right.
Anything food is probably just going to be in the area until early dinner and close up shop for the day.
Sure. Orochi, what are you doing once you're done in West End?
She's going to go back to her shop and just basically run some service on her drones and vehicle to make sure that everything is ready.
Cool.
And also listen to music and just generally keep up with the group and see if there's anything they need.
Generally vibe.
Blur, you are coming back from Wyndham. Larry, what are you doing? You've made your second explosive. What do you want to do after that?
Nope.
What?
Oh. What do you want to do? You made your second explosive. What do you want to do after that?
I mean, there's not much for me to scope out because everybody else is doing that already. I honestly don't know what's left for me to even do.
They're still attaching the explosive to her wheel or brake or whatever that you had talked about doing. Nobody has done that.
And you're probably the person to do it, since that is also a logic demo test. Unless we want to accidentally hit her gas tank and the whole fucking car goes up.
What time of day is it?
It is about 12. Well, it's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon at this point.
So she'd probably be at work.
Yes. Based off the schedule you all know, she's at work. And considering they just got lunch for the office, she'll probably still be there.
Cool. So I should head over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have your own car, right?
Yes, I do.
Cool. It'll take you a little bit. It'll take you about like a half hour, 45 minutes to get over there. But when you get over there, as has been described, it's a fairly small, like 2-story office building. And there's kind of a narrow street that you can drive down that when you go down, you see there's a small parking lot behind the office building.
And I know what car I'm looking for, right?
Yes, you've had the description. You know what the license plate is. Are you wanting to pull up into that parking lot yourself, or are you going to go park somewhere else and then walk over here?
I'm going to park somewhere else and walk.
Okay. Yeah, that's not too hard to do. With Larry, when he is on the job, how is he dressed?
Incredibly normal.
Okay, so just absolutely plain clothes, just a guy on the street.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So you make your way into this parking lot. It takes a moment. She's apparently not she's not the only one that like drives a black SUV working at this office. Granted, it's not a big office, so there's like, 3 of them. But But you find the proper license plate, and it is kind of parked closer to the exit of the parking lot. And I am gonna say, make me a stealth test, and then your demolitions test to properly place this. And the stealth to, if somebody were to be watching or a camera to be watching, to go as unnoticed as possible. Because you are getting down on the ground and underneath a vehicle and planting an explosive.
Okay, let me just find where the fuck stealth is. Where is it on the sheet?
You have sneaking?
Yes.
That's stealth.
Okay. Okay. Oh, no, it's slash. I'm learning.
No, we get it. This is your first time. And your second ever session.
2 successes. If that's the term.
Okay. Yep, 2 successes. So you, as discreetly as you can, move over and put yourself in a fairly decent way so that you're not immediately visible, and hunker down underneath this car. Which wheel do you want to put this on? Because depending on the situation, it could impact what happens.
What would be the safest to go with?
It's hard to say.
According to Tesla, into the public.
Rear might be the safest way to go.
Okay. Driver's side or passenger side?
Passenger.
Okay, cool. So you go ahead and give me your logic plus demolitions to make sure you place it properly.
That is a big roll.
It's like you're good at this.
Important.
Yeah. How many dice do you have?
12.
Okay. Are you wanting to put it on the brake like was suggested, or are you wanting to just put it on the inside of the wheel well?
Inside of the wheel well, because she can't stop if we cut the brakes.
Okay. I would imagine that is, considering how small the explosive is, and you're just sticking on the inside of the wheel well, you have enough dice to just buy the successes needed to do that.
Okay.
So you stick it in there, and then you, as discreetly as you can, scoot out from underneath the vehicle, get up, kind of brush yourself off, and as casually as you can, walk your way back to where you parked yourself.
Important question.
Yeah.
Will we know whether or not the car is all-wheel forward or rear wheel driven?
Ray, you were watching the vehicle through drone.
Yep.
I'm assuming you have a vehicle knowledge of some kind you could roll.
Yes.
If not straight up automotive or the
She has both automotive engineering, and she also has vehicle knowledge.
Yeah. So roll whichever of those is the higher pool.
All right.
Just be an important thought, because if
you know a lot about vehicles, but you don't necessarily know every vehicle. So I'm gonna necessitate a roll to see if you know.
And we got to Google it. Oh wait, no, this is a dystopia. It's probably Bing.
oh god,
3 successes.
Cool. Yeah, you know that this SUV is actually all-wheel drive.
Okay, so it's not like we're making her lose control.
yeah.
I mean, past her wheel mildly exploding.
Yeah, it's safe to assume this is kind of like, it's her vehicle, but it's also the family vehicle. And, when the snow gets real bad, it pays to have a vehicle that can get through that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
But yeah, so all that is set up. Foodie, I'm gonna say you probably between lunch and dinner, it definitely like drops off a little bit, but you do get some late lunch crowd people coming in, so you can add another 50 million to what I already sent you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then we go into the evening. So you all have major preparations. You still need St. John's still needs a burner comm link to move that software over onto. But aside from that, your prep is done. So is there anything burning people want to do?
Grab a burner comm link.
That's easy enough to do. I think you can get one for like 50 million or something like that.
Yeah.
There's like whatever the cheapest one in the book is. Really.
250.
Yeah, something like that. They're, expensive to the common person, but to a Shadowrunner, it's a drop in the bucket at the end of the day. But does anybody have anything they want to do for any additional prep or anything? Or are y'all of the mind to skip ahead to a point in time that suits you to do this ambush and to grab her?
Could I actually take some time to also, if we need it as a tertiary option, craft some tranquilizers to knock her out?
Oh yeah, we should probably have things so she is not problematic and we don't have to repeatedly concuss her.
Yeah.
Bam, go to sleep.
See, what would I need for that?
I mean, you would effectively want to find a chemical that is used for knocking people out. And you either have the means to buy it or you need to make it yourself.
Okay. I will need some time to go take a look into that because I don't remember which book is which.
As far as like chemicals for knocking people out, the core book should have the bulk of those. I think there are a few others in other books, but the core book has most of the chemical stuff. There might also be, I might be misremembering, but there might be slap patches also that can be used to knock people out, but I could be wrong about that.
There's trank patches.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I think there is actually a trank patch.
But while silence is golden, duct tape is silver, and 5 million per roll.
Yeah,
Well,
that is
like
true.
a million per roll. Along with 20 zip ties being 1 million. Just saying.
Honestly, I feel like I'm being ripped off for only 20.
Welcome to the Sixth World.
I could get some trank patches. I also would probably want to have a few other things, like actual knockout chemicals or stuff.
Yeah. So like, let's do this.
Sure.
Is all you all want to do as a group in general just get supplies before deciding when you want to do this?
I do have another thing.
Okay.
I'm going to have one of my agents go through the phone, since I copied his phone over, and see if there's any sensitive information that could be used for pay data. Other blackmail material. Things that they have, the shitty things that they have done that they try not to talk about, that the intern is too stupid to not talk about or ask about.
I'm gonna make a percentile roll.
Okay.
We know what they did last summer.
But otherwise, like, I don't know, financial data is too. We can sell it.
No. It looks like this guy is squeaky clean in the sense of he doesn't do any suspicious shit other than, work with people who are racist, and be kind of racist. But like, he doesn't, from the comlink data, he doesn't like buy drugs or, I don't know, do anything like that would be worth blackmailing him over other than being racist. But he's clearly working for a racist, so that doesn't really bother him.
We will cancel him on Twitter.
What's Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God, that's gone.
Yeah, it doesn't exist in Shadowrun.
Funny enough, we went.
There isn't
back to
really
MySpace.
there's not really like a dedicated social media anymore. It's kind of just out there.
Do I have enough information on him here to sell it off for like as a fake sin, like a low grade fake sin?
No.
Okay.
There more goes into a sin than just some details about who you are. It's a little bit more involved than that. That's why Shadowrunners that make fake sins are extremely rare, and it's a very dedicated skill set you have to have.
The rating of fake sin is just how accurate it is to like an identity that matches you.
Yeah.
So like if you have like a rating 1 or 2 fake sin, it might just say you're a troll, and then someone's going to look at that closely and go, "No, you're not," and realize it's fake.
Yeah. You probably can't really sell anything on here to anybody. You could still try if you really wanted to, but there's not much of value to like blackmail this guy with or anything.
Okay.
Seems like he is a goody two shoes who's just buying into the wrong type of mentalities. Aside from that, is this just getting supplies before putting the plane into motion? Because if we're just going to get supplies and stuff, what we can do is we can establish when you all want to make your move, and then we know how much time you have to gather, make, buy whatever supplies it is you want to get. We can do that and then jump to putting the plane into motion.
Today's the 10th, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking at doing it.
It's a little, well, we're doing just before the dinner rush. So I'm going to say it's probably like 3 p.m. And so that leaves you the rest of today if you want to do shit at night. At least a few hours if you want to get a full night's sleep. Then you'll have the entirety of the 11th and the entirety of the day of the 12th, and then make the move the night of the 12th. Or if you want to do it the 11th and then hold her for a day, or all that is up to you.
12th is a Sunday, right?
Yes.
So if they'd be going to church, that'd be a opportune time to kind of pull her away. But people are going to immediately notice she's missing. I assume her family is going to notice that she's missing either way.
From what you know of her schedule, probably, yeah.
So it'd be one of those things that's like, if we can get her early enough on the 12th and say, hey, here's the, like, we have blackmail information on you, pretend to be the assistant wanting to move up. Instead of going to church, you're going here, and have her move towards the our drop off, and then you already scouted out some places that we can kind of hold her for a while, and then make our way up there.
The answer is yes.
So that's my thought. Is there any objections or questions or issues with that plan?
I have
for me.
I have no objections.
Orochi, secondary thought, if she brings her own vehicle, they'll be able to track that to the area. So we'll probably need you to remove that.
What did you say?
If she's going to be coming there with her own vehicle, they'll probably be able to trace it since, they have money and people care about that shit. There's also, so if you could make it to where either you scrub it or you get it to go somewhere else. At that point, the only thing we have to worry about is dock wagon, as they probably have dock wagon.
Well, probably the easiest things to do with that is actually, there's probably a hardware thing that works as a tracker, but there might also be a software inside of the thing, which I would require your assistance with.
I can help with that. That's fine. The first thought that came to my mind was to help to drive somewhere else.
She might not have a rigger link on the thing, so
fair.
So I might manually have to drive it,
which has its own complications. Yeah. And then we just have to not bang her up so bad that dock wagon doesn't come knocking.
You might be able to hack their signal and loop it with so that the dock wagon signal doesn't go out.
I'll try to be fast on that. That means other people are going to be responsible for the snatching.
Hey, if she is actually connected to the weather net, you could probably just start to hack her.
Does that sound like a plan, everybody? Everybody good with that?
Well, that sounds decent enough.
Right. So what time do you want to make the move? While she's at church?
I want to do it before she goes to church and say, "Hey, come separately. You want to go to church in a separate car, but you're gonna make a pit stop."
Well, the spot in Wyndham is not a pit stop.
No, I know.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Okay.
So anybody who needs to buy things, make things, or whatever, you have the rest of tonight and the entirety of the 11th. And then you need to be good to go Sunday morning, because they go to church in the morning. By Sunday morning, I mean you got to be good to go by 8 o'clock, because you need to actually get to the location before she gets to the location, and y'all have farther to go.
Yeah, we also need to get there before she gets there with enough time to be set up and settled.
Uh-huh.
All right. Oh, I ain't got nothing I gotta make. I did my hard part.
For buying stuff, keep in mind on the restriction of availability.
Oh, I was gonna ask about that. How would I go about getting certain drugs that are on the restricted or forbidden sense?
You need contact.
Do you have a contact who's in the black market or a fixer?
You know what? I actually might have someone who can help with that. I have a great connection.
Oh, what connection?
I have a street dock. I also have a fixer, so
the street dock might be able to give you something.
Okay. So I'm thinking of grabbing some slap patches.
Okay.
And
Yeah, a street doc will be able to get you slap patches. That's doable.
yeah, no, but I'm also looking to get some narc jet and a dose or two of neuro stun.
Yay, Neurostun.
Go ahead and well, first off, it's a contact. You need to roll their connection rating to see if they pick up. When you give them a call. Or sorry, their I think their loyalty.
Yeah.
How likely are they to answer when you call?
Oh, their loyalty.
Yeah. Their connection is for getting stuff if they don't have it.
That's fine. That's not a very big dice pool. So let's see if this happens. Oh no! Can I edge this?
I mean, yeah. I'll allow it. And remember, you only get one edge back when you sleep.
It's fine. I have not spent any edge except for this one, so I am good.
Okay. All right, one success. So they do pick up. You let them know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
They are willing to part with some of their own supplies, but it's going to cost a little extra. They're suggesting a 25% surcharge for pulling from their supplies because they're trying to run a legitimate business here. Come on.
No, I feel it, especially because some of those things are kind of tough.
Yeah. Now, if you have negotiation, you can attempt to negotiate it down. Otherwise, 25%.
I do have some negotiation. I don't know how well it's gonna work, but I do have some negotiation.
Okay.
I will try to sit there and kind of barter a little bit.
Sure. Roll negotiate. Let's see if you can get them to sway a little bit.
I get a
Gotta get them
single.
to budge on the price.
They will budge down to a 20%.
Okay, that's
But
I can work.
they really have to insist. These are supposed to be tools for what they got to do.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Not spending as much helps a little bit. I got debt to pay. Not trying to spend.
Yeah, we're all poor as fuck.
All
Okay,
according
so
to
add
plan.
20% on top of what I'm looking for. So that's 200. And if I want, where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? 200, and let's say I want Narco Jet.
While he's doing that, is there anything anybody else wanted? Or is he the only one getting supplies?
I think he's the only one getting supplies. I'm poor. I need to save for rent.
Yeah, you owe me rent.
If
I
we
got
share
nothing
rent.
that I need to get, so I'm good.
I'm just thinking about how much I want to bring. Well, I guess I only have a pistol, so I don't really need to worry about that. I'll just bring them both.
Well, your rigger here has a smuggling compartment, so bring the stuff. You can bring a lot of stuff.
Cool. We'll keep my Odachi in it.
It's a shielded smuggling compartment.
Oh, good. They won't see the fucking anti-cavalry sword in there.
Yeah. I don't think it's shielded against like chemicals, but you know. Let's see.
Try not to drive in acid.
Yeah. Oh no, it's shielded against chemical and electromagnetic. So
I am just double checking something on my end before I progress us here.
Alrighty.
Let's see.
Really, talk quacking will kill them all.
That's 4055. 1535.
I wish there were some things that they were just a little more clearer about, but alas.
Oh, what?
All right. All right. I'll just do the logical thing. Okay. So, Sunday morning, y'all are up and early. It's been 2 days, so refresh 2 points of edge.
Yay.
Yeah, I'm up for it still.
And how are you all? I'm assuming you're all going to meet and win him first before messaging her, is the plan?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. How do you want to handle the travel situation? Because not all of you have vehicles.
I'll ride with Larry.
Yes.
I will
Thank you,
message
Larry.
Larry for a ride.
Okay, Foodie's also going to grab a ride with Larry.
Because I only have my food truck.
Okay.
It's pretty distinct.
Assuming Larry is fine with that.
I mean, yes, I can fit people in my Ford Americar.
Stop saluting.
USA.
That's UCAS now.
Yeah, that's true.
But it doesn't sound as good with UCAS. UCAS.
My party will always be
Yes.
USA. I don't speak frog.
Hey,
Orochi is.
Oh, they kept
Orochi's driving with her van because that's for
Frenchman
her.
is Key West, isn't it?
Okay.
What is it?
No, French Canada. French Canada is
Okay,
And
y'all,
she's going to
here,
ask if
please.
anyone wants her to stuff anything in it. Because she is using a Bulldog step van, so she's using
Okay.
like the most ubiquitous hauler vehicle in town.
Yeah. And St. Cloud, what are you doing?
I have my own car.
Right. Okay. So 3 cars will eventually make their way to Wyndham. It's a little annoying for Larry to have to go pick up well, not now, no, because Foodie is staying in Rosemont. I keep fucking forgetting. I keep thinking he's staying at the other place, and he's not.
No. That is emergency exit only.
Yep. So you all make your way out, which you find out Foodie lives like just down the road from you guys, effectively.
Finally,
like
we know where
over.
you live.
Well, you may not know exactly, but you have an idea.
Yeah, I probably met them at the church that's right down the street.
Yeah. But you all make your way into Wyndham. Most of you, it's safe to say, have not been out into Wyndham before, unless you have like really shady troll contacts. The place is, layer of snow, still has not been plowed out here. There is standing water on some of the roads. Some of it is like partially frozen. It's rough out here, but you reach this spot that Blur had pointed out in South Wyndham. There is a sort of, it looks like an empty, like small strip mall spot, but there is like a nice, discreet back alley behind those long since abandoned businesses that you all are able to take advantage of. However, which way you would like to do that?
I mean, it's where we'd have to store.
You want me to take that?
Yeah, go ahead and take what I have to bring. It's too late for me to have that.
How would we like to approach this?
That's a very good question.
I'm ready to send the text whenever you're. We stay in one of these locations to wait, and then the way that Blur described it, these places are relatively abandoned. We just move to another location.
Yeah.
Not a bad thing to work with. I guess while we're waiting and setting up this location, I just want to just take a look around, see if there's actually any signs of activity in the area.
I mean,
Occasionally you can hear voices down the road and such, but immediately around you, no. This kind of feels like a little bit of a no man's land.
Are we in an alleyway, or are we just on a street side?
You're in an alleyway. It's effectively a small street behind a strip of old stores.
an abandoned strip mall.
There are dumpsters back here that are long since empty and abandoned and such.
I'll make sure I can.
What sort of detonator did you pick for the radio, I guess?
Yeah, she put the remote detonator on there so that she can blow it wirelessly.
Cool beans.
We've been stealthy enough. I don't think we're worried about someone tripping our frequency.
Is there any specific things you all want to do to prepare, or do you just want to send the text and just wing it?
I mean, Blur is gonna find a little place to sit with her fuck off big sword and wait. And she is on standby until go time.
There's plenty of ground to sit on.
Yep.
Ude will go find a spot to go kind of make himself small and take a more hidden approach.
Fair.
Yeah, I was just about to roll sneaking to mention.
Yeah, if you want to actively try to hide so that you can do a proper ambush, by all means, make those rolls now.
I'm gonna edge that.
Roshi is probably just gonna park her car somewhere where it doesn't look too out of place. That just is there.
Cool. That's 3 successes.
Well, it's going to look a little out of place. It's a car that's been cared for in the middle of no man's land.
Yeah.
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 Going to attempt to sneak as well. Gabagool.
Ow. My lord.
Wow.
I'll attempt to spend edge. I'm allowed
So
to.
far, so good. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Fucking finds a really good spot, or not Tilka. It's fucking
St. Cloud.
St. Cloud finds gets lucky and finds a really good spot.
Assuming you're sending off the text?
Yep.
Cool.
3 magazines. I have 5 magazines with me.
I only brought a couple of spare mags too for my pistol.
I have 3 mags of regular ammo, 1 mag of stick and shocks, and a mag of ADPS in case we really got fucked up somewhere.
Blur only has regular ammo. She's very poor. She cannot afford to feed her pistol.
It requires Nuyen.
Mm-hmm, yes. Please, sir, spare little Nuyen. My pistol, it is hungry.
Probably should just buy a pistol that feeds off blood.
Right. So what do you say in the text?
So, Okay, so St. Cloud will say in the message, Dahlia, we need to talk about what you are doing on, I believe it was a Monday when we tracked her down to the sex club. What you doing on Mondays? What were you doing at this address? Meet me in Wyndham. We need to talk about my future career. The future of my career.
Okay.
The future of our careers.
Yes.
There a minute goes by, and a response does come in saying, "What are you talking about?"
Be a real shame if the rest of the block and your husband, God forbid, knew about that one elf slut you were seeing.
Oh God. Okay.
Damn, bro, just real ripping off that band-aid.
Okay. So
I mean,
a couple minutes pass. And there's just a singular where with a question mark.
Give her an address.
Yes. There is a you better be there when I get there.
With bells on.
And yeah, you all sit tight.
Orochi moves back to the in the back of her van basically, and just sets up her RCC.
Cool. It's gonna take a little bit, but around. Let's see. I forgot to update the calendar because I'm so good. It's gonna be probably around 10:30 in the morning. She's gonna show up. So y'all have been here for a couple hours at this point.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But you see her black SUV pulling up not exactly where you all are, but close to it. And it sits there for a moment, and then the driver's side door opens. She steps out. She is dressed as if she was going to be going to church, but she has a handbag on her, and she is clutching the handbag with one hand as it's hanging from her shoulder. She's kind of got like this moderate length like skirt on, nice blouse, and a jacket, or like a expensive jacket over top all of this, like a long jacket, because it's fucking cold.
Yeah.
And she is looking around expectantly as she gets out. And all of you do hear her shout, "Where are you, you little snake?"
Fish is on the hook. Fish is taking the bait. Reel her in.
Oh, this will be fun.
So the physical people can now do something. I am not one of those people.
All right. Well,
Cool.
I suppose Blur will go into action.
Oh, what
What
is
does Blur wish to do?
Yeah, what's Blur gonna do?
What's my distance from her?
Where she's at, I'd say probably about 15 meters.
Huh.
Oh, that's easy. That's barely more than walking. So I'm gonna beat her with the scabbard, I guess.
Oh Lord.
I listen. My kick's too lethal. This is the only way I can non-lethal her without taking a huge dice penalty.
Well, grapple, I guess.
You could grapple.
I could grapple, but it won't be as fast, I think.
I actually don't remember how fast.
You're acting before she is.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it would take longer to fill up her stun track.
I have a thing for that. But, you know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. You would have communicated. Yeah, I'll grapple her.
Okay.
That's just my unarmed, right?
I believe so. I'm trying to find it on my cheat sheet here. I'm just incredibly blind.
How fast do I move is my question.
Then
What I'm doing can be done remotely.
Yep.
yeah, I think it does just count as a type of melee attack. So yeah, I think it's just your unarmed plus your I think it is just strength to grapple instead of agility. Or no, it's strength to maintain it, I believe. You have to make opposed strength checks to see who breaks out. That's what we'll go with. So yeah, dexterity plus unarmed. Or agility, I mean.
Okay.
Armed combat plus agility versus reaction plus intuition if they had it, but you are getting a surprise. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna pre-edge this just for funsies.
While you do that, would it be a magic perception to spy if she is Dockwagon going?
Yes.
All right.
it would be also safe to assume it's probably going at all times.
Cool.
Well,
So
that way I
that's,
can sit there and find it.
6 successes to grab her ass. As a hyper bunny fucking comes out of the shadows and I don't know, gives her the people's elbow.
Yeah, you fucking grab her. She sees you coming and goes, "Who's up?" And then you're like on her, grabbing her, and she is squirming, but yeah, you've got her. Since it sounds like, yeah, you had a plan. So Foodie, you go next.
Yeah, Fude would just run out from where he's hiding. Take him a little bit extra because I don't get to move as fast. Gets up there. To start off, we're gonna just go with narrow stun 10.
Sure. Fucking roll to hit her.
That would be an unarmed. We'll try and slap it on her, I guess.
Yeah, is this a patch? I'm assuming, or what is this?
Yeah, it's a patch.
Yeah. So yeah, it would be an unarmed. I would say maybe a -2 just because you have a friendly that is like grappling with her. So it's just a little bit harder not to accidentally, hit your teammate in the arm as opposed to her.
I just imagine I fucking like ran at her and clotheslined her ass to the ground.
And then just tackled her on top and be fucking.
Yeah, I'm just kind of putting my weight on her chest.
Okay. So -2. That's gonna be 8 dice. Let's see what happens. I get 2, so I get something.
Yeah, and she can't really dodge. So yeah, go ahead and you have 2 net successes. And the Nara stun just has a flat 10 stun, right?
Neuro stun is 15 with -2 if they're wearing armor.
Okay, cool. She's not wearing armor. So yeah, you hit the patch, and she's like, "Who the fuck are?" And she just slowly drifts off.
I'm just going to jam signals instead of like trying to mark her shit up.
Understandable.
Well, did you? Okay. If you're going to make noise, you're making noise on a target.
Fair.
So you need to target something. So you need to I will tell you this. Are you going into AR to look to see if she has wireless shit going.
Yeah.
Okay. You see she has a comm link. You also see she does have a gun on her that is connected to the Matrix. It looks like a not a heavy pistol, but a moderately sized pistol on her person.
She came back.
And you also see she does have a active biomonitor.
It's that thing that I want to sit there and fucking jam.
We're not going to accidentally call Dockwagon by giving that noise, right?
So the thing with giving it noise is it does not make a roll. And noise will just give it less dice for rolls.
Okay.
If you want to completely shut something off from the Matrix, you have to like brick it or put it in a Faraday or something to that extent. You have to actually cut it off from the Matrix.
All right. Well, then we'll do something risky then, because I had to mark it 3 times in order to be the fuck with it, right?
Yeah. That said, she's unconscious. I am going to do a thing on my end.
Yeah, I think if Dockwagon was going to get called, it's going to get called now, so marking it up might not do us much.
Yeah, I while that was going on, I was busy looking at the rules, so I didn't have the chance to sit there and like do that.
No, it's
she's
fine.
Unconscious. What do you want to do?
I guess Blur will have her over the shoulder and like let's move her.
I still need to mark it up, that way I can disable it, that way they can't continue to track her.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be fast about it. I'm going to try to put 3 marks on at the same time and pre-spend edge. It's like a minus.
Hopefully pre-spend edge.
Hopefully pre-spend edge. I pre-spend edge.
Cool.
I love that little bit of tension.
I'm waiting for the day that that it's going to be, you need this edge and you just do not get it.
So at 14 dice, minus 10 to try to put 3 on ahead of time, I pre-spend edge to add 5.
Right.
Oh, come on, Dice Maiden.
And in comes Blur with a steel chair. Oh. Are you alone?
Just gonna go ahead and start typing out this. Yep, there it is. Motherfucker. All right, I'm not gonna use the IE command.
You have to space IE.
It wasn't accepting that either.
Oh. Weird.
It's just probably me being unlucky.
I guess.
All right. You
Just,
succeed.
Yep. All right. New location. Let's go.
You mark it up.
Mark it up.
Blur with surprising ease hefts this bitch over her shoulder.
I mark it up and I'm going to disable it.
Yeah. It should be noted that Blur still looks as high profile and fucking thuggy as usual.
So are you telling it to reboot? What is the plan here?
If I tell it to reboot, when it finishes rebooting, it's just going to send the signal out again. I would probably know that, correct?
Yeah. You could
loop the signal.
Like, this is not because here's the thing, 5th edition doesn't really have rules for just hypothetically shutting a thing off. And a biomonitor isn't really designed to be powered down realistically.
Yeah.
I would say you could probably make a software plus logic test to disable it from sending the signal.
That would be
in airplane mode.
That'd be my goal, is to try to sit there and get it to stop sending a signal out. I thought about just straight crashing it, but I imagine that's going to just hurt her.
That might fuck with her heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Bricking things inside of a body is generally bad for the body.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, look, she's on fire.
but yeah. So if you want to make that test,
Okay. And what was the type test again?
software plus logic.
Software. Five successes.
Okay. Cool. So it does fire down. Or well, you stop it from sending a signal. You fucking.
If anything,
Smoke
I
that
imagine what I
motherfucker.
tell it to do is I tell it to switch where it's sending the signal to. That'd probably be
Yeah,
the
well,
easiest thing.
that's not necessary. You can sit there and just effectively brick the files responsible for being connected to the matrix, essentially.
Yeah.
It probably would have been an edit file type test.
Yeah, something like that.
Still figuring out decking. Sorry. Go ahead.
But all right. So you did that. What are y'all doing?
Let's
Toss her ass in the van.
far and fast.
Okay. You all are loading up and getting out of Dodge?
Yeah,
Yep.
I'll hop into the van and stay next to her body just in case she starts waking up. I have other things to put her back to sleep.
Cool. All right. So you all start driving. You get a few minutes down the road, about 5 minutes down the road, and Best, are you rigging or are you manual?
For the vehicle.
Yeah.
Well, currently, so as I said when I created this character, and we started
Yep.
session, I forgot to buy a rigger interface for the vehicle.
Oh, right. Cool. So you're manual right now.
So I am manual.
Those of you driving, you do see in the far distance there is, well, actually, they may not see. Gotta leave this up to a roll. Those of you who are driving, give me a perception test.
All right.
But it's a little challenging because it's a little far away, so it's gonna be a -2.
Oh, you are driving, aren't you, Larry?
I sure am.
All right. So it's going to be at a -2.
I don't see nothing.
Did you say -2?
Yes.
Does vision magnification or anything from like goggles? And...
Oh yeah, vision magnification can affect it. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So I get 2 more dice.
Okay. Yep.
She has her work goggles on.
Still 0 for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got 2.
Cool.
I got 2.
So
I got 2.
those are your 2 successes. You do identify in the distance, you do see a black dot in the sky that does come down where you think you all were at.
Yeah,
Doesn't look like a helicopter, but it looks like there was some kind of response.
Blur kind of tucks herself farther into her seat and like pulls down her hood a little harder. It knows it doesn't actually do anything, but she feels a little more comfortable doing that.
Orochi just to be safe, she cycles her register number for the vehicle.
St. Cloud is going to make it look like we're not 3 cars traveling in a pack and like take a turn because sees everybody acting strange.
Well, the position that was discussed, it could be doable. It would take you a little bit to regroup.
Yeah.
That's
But because it's kind of, you're on this one major road going up towards Newhall. And there isn't really many places that kind of go to where you're going that kind of reconnect. So you can either spin off somewhere and park somewhere, hopefully out of sight, or you can, well, this kind of is your only option, because these roads do not connect in that sort of way. So yeah, if you want to split off that main road and find somewhere to sit tight temporarily, you could.
Yeah. Just so we don't look like we're 3 cars in this fucking not great part of town. And like, I'm not holding the bag on anything. So like, if I do get stopped, like if they do happen as is like, hey, the fuck was that about? I got nothing.
Well, in fairness, I haven't played a Decker, so I may be wrong about this, but you didn't get to scrub like your signal, what you did.
That's not really a thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I know there's scrubbing. I just wasn't sure if that was a.
That's for the Astral.
You can, like, for example, for if you're hacking a thing, you can like delete the logs.
Oh, okay.
There's not really a
I think
there's not really rules for that kind of thing.
Yeah, go
like
on.
If you want to try to apply some real world logic there, you can, but it's fuzzy because the Matrix does not work like the internet works.
Yeah.
It's different in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I was just mistaken. I just wanted to clear that up so I was on the same page.
Okay. Are the other 2 vehicles just staying on the road?
Yeah, I'm just driving out of the area and generally picking probably a spot that we can meet up later. But being nearby so that we aren't just like fucked if anything bad happens.
I'm going to stay the course because I don't really have anything on me that's sus, really.
Okay.
Other than a fucking weird bunny, but that's not illegal.
That's my roommate.
Yeah.
All right.
Question: which way are we getting out of Dodge? Because north is where we got to go. Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
You're going north. I'm assuming you're going to the other place you scouted out, which is at this like Pleasant River spot where there's a ton of flooding and such, and you were gonna hide out there.
I just wanted to make sure that that's what we were doing. I was on the same page.
Yep.
Cool.
Right. Do you want to speed? Do you want to go slow? How do you want to go about this?
I am staying at the speed limit.
Okay. As you're driving down the road, you do reach the destination that was scouted out. However, St. Cloud, where you're parked, you do spot this vehicle that is kind of drifting above at a steady pace. You assume they're probably searching.
Yep.
You do get a good look at the vehicle as you are able to like peer up out from under it. It's not a helicopter. It's not a VTOL either. This looks to be one of the new craft with these gravity drives in them.
Oh.
They are able to suspend themselves off the ground.
Oh yeah, that's not frightening at all.
Yeah, so it's just floating there almost silently as far as you're concerned.
Can I I'll let the group know, but am I able to identify it mesh-wise? Not mesh. Fucking, I'm thinking of Eclipse Phase. Matrix-wise? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can see its icon is sitting there on the Matrix. It's the first thing you see as part of its icon is the dock wagon symbol. And a bunch of designations and shit that is code for aerial high threat response.
Fuck.
Oh, great.
Hey everybody.
Explain to someone who knows nothing about lore how fucked we are.
We'll be fine. We'll be
So,
fine.
okay. Healthcare in the sixth world is still heavily privatized. Now imagine if you could pay a yearly subscription and get a biomonitor installed that if something happens, a team will respond within 10 minutes or the medical care is free. At higher levels, and depending on the situation, high threat response may come, and it's an extra charge unless you have a higher tier. But high threat response is essentially having a corporate-owned, dedicated SWAT team come to get your ass.
Yeah.
And anybody who tries to stop them is fair game because you're a customer, and with how extraterritoriality works, that is their legal right.
If you're at the highest levels, they will overthrow small countries just to get your ass.
Well, I imagine that a local politician is not at kidnapping the president.
No.
We hope not.
But
no, because
either way, they either have the money to afford to pay for a high threat response, or they have a high enough thing where it is an automatic response.
Yep.
If something happens.
And HTR are the kind of people who fight me, who's like roided out and shit. Like, they're people that Larry doesn't want to fuck with.
So I'll let the team know. I'll send pictures of the Matrix. It's like, she's rolling in deep because she got she got HTT here.
HTR.
High threat team.
Oh, HTR.
They're just called HTR. It's a high threat response.
Oh, HTR. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
And I also got a new hovercraft. So you know, where's my electric car, Bruce?
Well, what is the HER vehicle doing exactly?
It is searching.
It is. Yeah.
Am I like? No, I don't know if I want that smoke. What's my baby monitor at? It's at like 0 still, right?
Yeah, you're fine.
I don't know if I want to fuck with that, if I'm being honest. Like, if you guys need me to fuck with that, I will.
So far, so good.
Well,
so
you all have reached your spot where you were planning to hide.
Yeah. Let's just
Do you all want to attempt to hide here?
Yeah, totally. Let's get the vehicles inside and not visible and just lay low because not fucking with that.
It'll take a little bit of time, but you're able to find one doorway that is big enough to fit your vehicles through. Get into a building with them. Because these are not like houses, these are like old apartment buildings.
God, imagine if it was several days of running from them.
Yeah. You can tell in the Matrix, they are like, they're paying for something.
They're paying for a biomonitor.
Zach.
Yes.
Since I have the step van, which is a pretty sizable vehicle.
Yep.
Would my smuggling compartment fit a person?
I would say it'd probably be a little tight, but yeah.
Because it is shielded against electrical emissions.
Sure.
Electromagnetic.
Honestly, yeah, that's the best bet because that's gonna shield anything else that they could be pinging on her. Blur will help you get her knocked out ass into the compartment.
Yep.
Like, Blur understands HTR. Blur does not fuck with HTR.
Mm-hmm. Should we like just hang out and wait?
Yeah, Larry's just watching this. Like, could use a smoke.
No, he's watching this going. Well, this is inconvenient. I feel
After
left out.
after a few moments, you do see the craft kind of makes another pass, and then with a sort of disturbing amount of speed, zips off back towards proper civilization.
They exfilled.
Well, let's start driving away from here slowly after a while. Let's wait a few more minutes.
We'll just text everybody. Let's lay low.
How is our package doing?
Unconscious. Seems fun.
Okay.
She hasn't started knocking the box yet.
So, who expected that she would have HT armors? I guess.
Not me. Wouldn't have won that pool.
Beneficial.
I mean, she was going for mayor, but you know.
I expected a dock wagon contract, but not HDR.
Yeah. I am glad we didn't get. I don't know, but let's hope it stays that way.
Yeah. So do you all want to stay at that second location and have your Decker meet you there and then just hang tight until the appointed hour?
Yeah, I think that's the best bet right now. The more we move around, the more chance we get caught. And, Blur would like to sit and de-stress as much as a Blur can.
You all would understand enough that so long as that biomonitor does not reconnect to the Matrix, HTR probably won't show back up.
No, but this is a fucked up neighborhood with known.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Gang and shit. We don't want to get caught by someone else.
Yeah.
Staying put, we have a lot less chance of shit going sideways.
It's fine.
Yeah.
We're fine.
So eventually, St. Cloud, you make it to the point to meet with them. You're able to also squeeze your car inside this like ruined remains of what used to be an apartment building and see all of the flooding all over the place. And you all sit tight for hours.
And this place do kind of suck.
And yeah, it's awful. It's fucking cold out. It's starting to snow again.
Finds a room for herself and just kind of chills there the whole time.
I keep watch on our package just to see if she's gonna stir.
Yeah. No, she's out. She's gonna be out for a bit. Eventually starts getting around time to go. Like it's dark out. And it's like, we should probably get moving to make sure we get there on time.
Yep.
Have to go get.
As we are like just waiting there, Richie is just looking through the news and just seeing if there's any like response.
Give me a matrix search.
I'll do that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the news is like. Local mayor candidates kidnapped already.
She doesn't really have very good matrix. Let's see.
Nothing of value was lost.
Just double checking what matrix search is.
A computer.
It's computer intuition.
Yeah.
Computer
by your data processing.
I'll take a moment to put my data processing to 10.
But fair.
4 successes.
I mean, this is something I would hope that we would spend on because if nobody's talking about it, we're good.
I mean, so it's a 50-50 shot, like out of character. It's 50-50 shot if like they're talking about it because she has a high enough dock wagon and dock wagon has put out the hit. or if they're keeping it quiet because her campaign managers decide they don't want to start a fuss if she just decided I'm fucking off for a little bit and her biomonitor crapped out or Faraday cage.
It's got a 5.
So 5 successes and 4 successes. You both do find there is not exactly an APB, but there is information put out there of like, hey, this mayoral candidate, she's gone missing, paying for any details if anybody has seen her within the last 24 hours. Any information that is relevant to Mrs. Murphy, well, not within the last 24 hours, but like within the last 12 hours, effectively. So they didn't post something immediately. They waited until like the afternoon to post something.
Probably because being gone a few hours is probably not something.
And there's reason to believe she's been kidnapped. Her last known location was in Wyndham, blah, blah, blah. All this. And they're paying like a hefty for the common people, but $5K million for any information. And a 10K reward for anybody who brings her in.
Okay, so Blur definitely won't suggest this, but out of character, I'm tempted to feed like a trickle of information that might get us the 5K, but not actually put us at too much risk.
They're not going to give you 5K for being like, yeah, she was like a mile up the road.
Yeah.
They're not going to pay you 5K for that.
And for us, isn't it?
No, that's rent for the month.
Oh my god.
And I don't know about you, but I'm deep in debt.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Sounds like a skill issue.
Fuck you, you're deep in debt.
I'm not that deep in debt. This job will pay off my debt. My share of this job will pay off my debt.
Orochi is head over war. It's like so deep in debt.
Yeah, they're offering 10K for anybody who can bring her back.
You can see Orochi frown and oh fuck. That's a lot.
Yeah. It's more money than what you're being paid for this job.
Yup.
But there's more factors to consider than just that.
like the fact that she will totally fucking ID me if she comes back to consciousness.
Yep.
Yeah, you and me.
Yeah.
Also, you'll probably never work in this town again, considering that you fucked over the first Johnson you talked to.
Well, it's not the first Johnson I talked to, but, it definitely would not look good as a Shadowrunner.
It's a very good way to ruin, to gain some notoriety and generally have a bad rep.
Yeah. But
she does not do anything, but she does consider the possibility. She's like, oh, damn it.
Foodie, your connection, or you got those patches? Do they do more leisure drugs? That shit worked fast.
Oh my god, are you asking the hostage for her dealer?
No. He's asking Foodie, our runner, for where he got the drugs because he wants more he wants some of that shit.
Yeah.
It's true, but I could probably make that for you. Depending on what you're looking for.
Do you want a sample? Because I do have 2 of those trank patches, in some storage somewhere here.
Oh, I didn't use a trank patch.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
I used some heavier duty shit.
I used industrial grade level, military level things.
Yeah.
Oh.
Listen, I'm all for a good time. That seems a little heavy on my.
There's a reason I immediately knocked her out.
Is she okay?
Oh yeah, she's unconscious. She's fine.
She is just dreaming.
Yeah, she's effectively a bunch of stun damage. Some of it may have overfilled into her physical, but you don't need to worry about that.
He'll
She's
heal.
alive.
He didn't say he needed her pristine.
Exactly. She's alive.
Is she breathing?
Yeah, she's breathing. in a ball.
She's breathing.
Okay.
I mean, last week.
So you all load up and get going. North Wyndham, you discover, is kind of at least one of the parts of the hotbeds of activity. There's still like flooding all over the place, but there are trolls everywhere. And they are like eyeing your little convoy of vehicles unabashedly. But you make your way through, and you kind of pass through this sort of market, as far as you can tell. Abandoned buildings that have been turned into street shops and such. And you were following the directions you were given. You snake through your way through this market, find a back alley that opens up into like a wider area. It's kind of this sort of cul-de-sac, and there is a larger building with a series of loading docks for trucks, as well as a few dumpsters and such. And you pull in probably like a minute or two before midnight. But you get there, and like right at midnight, a back door for this large building opens, and you see this huge troll. Not because he's jacked, he is overweight.
Oh,
He is wearing a shirt that is straining to contain his gut. He's a very heavy set dude. There are tattoos all up his arms. He's got a few scars on his face. One of his horns has been broken in half. And he sees a little convoy of vehicles, and he comes sauntering over. And you do notice, as he's coming over, there is a sawed-off shotgun that is like slung over his shoulder and is swaying with every like heavy step he makes. And he kind of stops halfway towards you guys and just stands there.
It's up.
I'm tough.
I will. Like, all right, let's grab her.
Oh,
sorry, you're cutting in and out there.
Oh, I was.
No, but Orochi was.
open up the van.
Oh yeah, Blur will come out of Larry's car to grab passed out lady and sling her over her shoulder again.
Rudy walks out, follows Blur.
Not Rhea. Orochi will just keep an eye out, basically.
So you're bringing her over to him?
Yep.
When you come over with sling over his shoulder, he'll point to the ground between the two of you, and he'll say, "Put it down. Let me get a look at her."
She'll do so a few feet away from him.
Yeah. He'll come over, check. You actually notice there is a almost unnatural gleam in one of his eyes as he looks her over.
Okay.
Indicating it's a fake made to look kind of real, but it's just not passable with the way the light reflects off of it.
Yeah.
Not super high grade, maybe.
Does it look like just glassy, or is it a cyber eye?
It's kind of glassy, but you can tell at certain angles there's a very faint glow behind the pupil.
Yeah, okay. It's a cyber.
Yeah.
I understand.
He looks her over, kneels down, checks her pulse, and then chuckles a little darkly to himself, and then hefts her over his shoulder. You did a good job.
Oh my god, are we the sex traffickers?
I think
Oh,
we might be
no.
the sex traffickers.
No. No.
Are we the baddies?
Well,
sometimes, yes, being a Shadowrunner.
I'm not fair. I'm too much in debt to really be picky, so.
I'll be sure to send around my regards to our mutual business person.
Sounds good.
And he will just turn with her over his shoulder, like kind of unbothered, and just starts walking his way back towards the building.
Don't reboot any of the monitors on her.
Oh, don't worry, this ain't my first rodeo.
Sounds good.
If any of you folks would be interested in doing a little more of this hunting type work for me, I'll make sure my information is available.
As long as the cash is green, I'll go back to my car.
It's all digital these days.
If so, what should we call you?
Oh, what you should call him?
Oh, he was. We already had his name. Actually,
Yeah. He just goes by Tub.
Simple man. Simple tastes.
Orochi looks at him and he just carries her inside and sends a little message to our hacker and goes, "Maybe you should do a background check on Tom, just if we should work with in the future."
I don't plan on fucking working with him again.
Are you fucking crazy?
Damn. Tell me how you really feel.
If this was the entry level job, I don't want to see what the later ones are. I was fucking scared shitless when I saw fucking hovering HTR.
Yeah.
You know what? Understandable.
Still, might be good to just do the background checks, see if nothing comes to bite us in the ass. That would be unfortunate.
I'll put some time aside to do it. Sure. Not now. I want to see if we get paid first, or she pays in full, or.
We were gonna send a message to our Johnson, right?
Yes.
Job done.
Yeah. You get a message back quite promptly, almost immediately. Meet same location as last time in 3 hours.
Okay.
It's gonna be a little tight. I do not want to go through. We'll look to the others. Maybe we should take a detour.
I mean, I can spoof the right number, and so I can drive us there if we want to just park our vehicles here, and then I can drive you back.
I'm not parking my vehicles here.
I
No.
just mean I don't want to go through where we were with what happened.
Yeah, not a bad idea.
Yeah, we should have time. It's 3 hours.
I'm gonna ditch the phone, the comm link.
Okay.
Gonna burn
Sure.
the burner.
And you all drive back. It's pretty uneventful. You do not see any indications of HTR or anything. It's like nothing ever happened. Just another person slipping through the cracks and disappearing into the shadows, very likely to never be seen or heard from again. And you all make your way slowly but surely back to the peninsula into Portland proper, down to Old Port, at the spot in the street where you were last picked up by the Johnson. And like last time, a discreet a limos can be, rolls up and stops, and the door opens on its own to let you all in.
Into the fancy car.
Into the car we go.
I look at the Matrix. What all do I see?
So you see the car. You see a comlink. Well, 2 comlinks. But that's it.
Okay.
Assuming you're talking about specifically the car. There's other stuff around.
Specifically the car. I wanted to see if there was like a third or fourth or fifth and sixth.
Yeah. No, you get in the car. She is the Johnson. She is in there. Elf woman. And as far as you can tell, the driver on the other side of the glass, like last time. And once everybody's in, they start driving. She'll cross her legs, check her comlink for a brief moment. So, it sounds like you did a good job. Tubb is extremely happy with his delivery.
Yep. Didn't have to fire a single shot. No one got hurt. Oh. No one but the target.
Hopefully.
Yes. He did note there was high levels of narcotics in her system, but he had no issue with that. Did not break any of the parameters established for you. You went, did what had to be done, got the target, and delivered it. No unnecessary death, no unnecessary injury. So, full payment for a job well done. And arguably a service done for the community as well. You should feel good about yourselves.
I mean, happy to always serve the community. Happy to get paid for it.
She will take note that one of you is missing. I see you are short one. Did they decide the job was not for them?
No, some matters came up that made it difficult for them to attend. However, they were important for us. Getting an understanding of her routine and being able to nab her so quietly.
Really? Interesting.
Partly nod in agreement.
Indeed.
So I'm going to ask you this. Do you feel like you're lying?
No. She actually perceived them and helped with figure out what the fuck they were doing.
Oh, sure. I'm mostly asking to see if you feel like you're covering for her not being here on the back half of the job, or if you actually believe she was invaluable to the job. But if you actually believe she was invaluable to the job, cool. She'll think on this for a moment, nod her head. Very well then. She will extract a cred stick for all of you and the additional one for your missing party member. I trust one of you will be able to get this to her when that, when you next encounter her.
I can take it. Considering they are roommates.
She will, after handing those off, she will lean back in her seat. Normally, this is the part where we would go separate ways. However, I find myself in need of another team. And, well, there are some things coming up. I have a client who is intrigued by your professionalism.
Oh,
Last run was a bit of a test run. See if you can handle basic things. My client is curious to see if you can handle something with a little bit more heat, a little bit more pressure.
Blur
If
looked
you are
absolutely
interested.
astonished by the concept of more heat than HTR.
But there wasn't heat, though, because you never got into a fight with HTR.
Never got into a fight. We're good.
No fight, but heat.
I mean, I'm willing to listen.
Well,
gotta listen
You
to the offer
seem-
first.
yes, you seem to be a collection of potentially morally upstanding individuals. There is a disappearance nobody is looking into. Out in Wyndham, a girl, age 12, has gone missing. Obviously, the proper authorities are not going to bother. That's where we come in. Client is willing to pay a pretty penny to make sure this girl is found and returned home safely. And if the worst has come to pass, to deliver some amount of justice, one could say. How does that sound?
Sounds good to me. What the rest of you?
How much?
Agreeable.
How much were they willing to pay?
They're willing
That's
to
about
pay a handsome 10,000.
Flat or each?
Flat. This isn't wet work. This is finding somebody who's missing.
Hmm.
It's a lot harder to make people disappear. I would expect you to understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that 10K if we're able to retrieve her, or is that 10K no matter what, as long as the job's done?
If you're able to retrieve her, 10K. If you are only able to find the remains and you exact revenge and bring the remains back, 10K. If you only confirm she's dead with bringing nothing back and no revenge dealt, well, you would be being paid 5.
Cool. I only need to do 5 more jobs like this.
Sounds good to me.
Blur will just slowly nod.
Very well. In that case, I will return to my client, tell him you're interested, and the information will be sent along tomorrow in the morning. Until then, I suggest you rest. I think you're going to have your work cut out for you. The limo will come to a stop, and the door will open.
Roshi will say, so who is this girl?
Like I said, details in the morning.
Okay. Well,
Rudy nods.
Good enough
thank you
for
for your
me.
time.
Blur will climb out of the vehicle.
Yep.
Indeed.
Once you're all out, door shuts, car drives off.
Yay!
Bye bye.
For one job.
Hopefully,
into
no
another.
HDR on this thing.
We'll see.
They did say more heat, so maybe.
All right, kid. Let's get you home.
All right. With that, I think we will call the session. We will pick up from there next time with the details of this new job.
A
Oh,
brand new job.
So naturally, you all gained your portion of the 8K, assuming you all split it up evenly.
1,333.
Who gets the 1 million?
Fight for it.
I would like the extra new yen, please.
Same. No.
Listen, all y'all peasants took debt. I don't gotta do shit. Y'all can fight for the penny.
I don't.
That's 1 million is.
I just
It's a
gotta
soy
work for the
burger.
extra hours.
Actually, I don't care. But
One of us budgets.
All right. So is it going to go to Blur, who is desperate for any little scraps of millions?
Honestly, yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
how much was it each?
133.
33.
You all spoke in unison.
1,333.
Cool.
Fude will.
Do we
mention
get any
to-
karma?
One moment. Ollie, yes.
Fude will mention to Lur and Larry when on the way back, if they want, I could cook them a meal.
Would be appreciated.
Will and the way that you have at least vaguely started to get shrugged in a positive manner, question mark?
Cool. All right.
Cool.
So, karma. You will each get 4 karma. Hey.
Oh, come on.
And then Sindra will get 2.
I now have 4 karma.
Gonna send the message here in the.
All right, I'm 1/5
Right.
away to paying off my debt. I'm gonna really need to get rid of that. Oh my god, I owe so much.
How much do you owe?
It's 75K plus interest.
Oh, right.
And I got a great
Yeah.
CPA. We'll get you set up with a consolidation loan.
That's not how the syndicate works, unfortunately.
Well,
God, I wish.
Yeah, try asking the Ivory Lions if you can refund this.
Gotta budget your shit coin.
You're gonna
No,
meet
that's
some
just
apes
a
for them.
phase.
So
Yeah.
peek behind the curtain.
Jane.
As soon as y'all engaged with her, I started a timer.
Yeah.
Because
Kind of figured.
she's in an area she's not normally in, heart rate rapidly spiking, and then suddenly drops just before her biomonitor goes offline.
Oh yeah, we totally tripped that fucking immediately.
Oh, 100%.
That's why I was saying,
So
like-
there was a timer to be like, okay, if they're not out of the area by the time this timer is done, HCR is here.
yep.
The Fortunate Son starts playing.
My response to that HTR being involved is that's scary.
Yeah.
As it should be.
I mean, how have to be to have HDR though?
I mean, she had some money.
What
Like
is
they
a-
did.
what is the gold plan on that?
I mean, typically armed people do show up to get you.
Yeah,
Regardless.
but like the gold plan is when HDR happens, right? What's the
It's
annual fee for that?
HTR is just an extra charge.
Yeah.
You don't need to
Oh, okay.
necessarily be on a specific plan. Like, armed people always show up, and they're effectively SWAT level. So, like, anytime they show up, it's effectively HTR showing up. And if it turns into a fucking showdown where they actually need the heavy hitters, that's when they charge for HTR.
Okay.
But, like, typical dock wagon team is effectively a SWAT team showing up. Because they are ready to pour lead onto anybody who's getting in their way.
Unless you're on corporate territory, because then they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, because their extraterritoriality does not trump their other companies' extraterritoriality unless they are getting paid enough to rationalize going in.
Yeah, because
you know, those kinds of situations don't come up unless you're fucking Shadowrunner, which it's like, okay, well, how do you have a dock wagon contract? You're telling me you're keeping us in to have a dock wagon contract.
But yeah, we want to thank everybody for listening.
Yeah.
This is the second session of hopefully very many more to come, unless we all just suddenly die, in which case, that'd be funny at least.
Or if people want to change things up, this is kind of a part of a trial series, see how people like it. This was a very baby mode run. Runs going forward are going to be more complicated.
Yep.
And arguably more dangerous.
Yep.
But thank you for listening. We hope to have you on the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye.